So welcome to Chimp on Cars. Today we're looking at driving an automatic car. So there are some differences between a manual car and an automatic. I'm going to go over those with you in this video. I'm going to keep it as short and brief as possible and help you to make that transmission, because most of us, particularly people my age, learn to drive in a manual car. And a lot of us are making that transition into an auto because electric cars, hybrid cars, they're all automatic, and a lot of regular cars are becoming automatic too. Automatic gearboxes have moved on a lot since I was learning to drive. So let's look at some of the differences in this particular car and help you to make that transition too, if you wish to. And if you've already made that transition, maybe give you a few tips on how to get the best use from your automatic car. So we're also going to look in this video about doing a hill start. Doing a hill start in an auto car is remarkably straightforward compared to what we're used to when we're driving a manual. So any of you guys that have not tried an auto yet, that have just driven manuals, you're going to find that a bit of an eye-opener as to how straightforward it is. So let's go over some of the differences inside the car first of all. So let's show you the gear selector first of all. So very straightforward. We have park, we've got reverse, neutral and drive on there. We've got sports function as well. The gear selector does move over to the side to open up the sports function and the sports button on the side there. We'll go over those in a separate video. I'll put a link to that at the top of the screen where if you're interested in exploring that feature on this car. This is a BMW 5 Series, as you may well recognise from the inside here. So we will explore that in a different video. So first of all, there's my dash. If I try and push the start button, which is just over here, without putting a foot on a pedal, it will tell me I need to push the brake. So I'm just going to push my foot on the brake pedal, and I will show you the pedals a bit later on in this video because there are only two of them. We'll show you how they work a little bit very shortly. So we've now got the engine started up. And we're going to notice here that the car starts up in park. So when we turn the engine off, we put it in park. Before we turn it off, in fact, it will just put itself into park if we just turn it off anyway, this particular car. Yeah, manuals are different, but autos we always start and stop with park. So park is the button at the top there. So we have a little button on the side here to allow me to move the gear selector. So you can see the flashing light there within park. If I pull it back towards me, I'm going to end up in drive. I've got the sports bit over there, which I've said separate video for that, and if I push that selector there, I can move the gear stick forwards, neutral, forwards again to reverse. So let me just push the button at the top here and put us back into park. So let's think about those. The drive is to drive forwards, reverse is to go backwards. Seems straightforward enough, doesn't it? And park, well, that's where I've got it at the moment. So when I'm in park, the transmission is locked. So this car, whether the handbrake's on or not, we're not going anywhere. We're not going to roll forwards or backwards. We do still use the parking brake as well as the transmission brake when we're in park, but yeah, so just extra security there to stop the car moving. Right then, so neutral first of all then. So why would we use neutral? Well, if we need to push the car, if we're broken down, for example. In fact, let me show you here. We're on a very slight hill. If I put the car into neutral and I release the parking brake, we've got an electronic parking brake here, so with my foot on the foot brake I can just push that down and that releases the parking brake. So if I lift my foot off the foot brake, we do just roll forwards there. You can probably just see it. Whereas if I put the car into park, there we go, no handbrake, electronic handbrake is not engaged, lift off the foot brake and the car rolls a little bit, and now it's on the transmission brake. The gearbox is stopping the car from rolling forwards down the hill. I'm just going to put my foot on the foot brake and just push the already in park, sorry, just pull the parking brake on just to further secure the car. Okay then, so that transmission brake in park is useful, but use the parking brake as well, as we've just demonstrated. It's there for the extra security. Right then, so we're going to now practice moving the car off, and you're going to see how easy it is to get the car moving purposefully. We let it roll forwards a little bit there in neutral, but let's drive with a bit of purpose, and let me show you how we can do that in an automatic car. Okay, so we're just on a slightly different piece of road now. We're on a very slight incline just to show you how to use the car. So before it was on a slight decline, wasn't we? We put the car into neutral, we just rolled a little bit forwards. Brilliant for that demonstration, but now let's think about getting the car moving with some purpose. So is what I'm going to do is notice first of all that we've got two pedals down here. So we've got a brake pedal, we've got an accelerator. Okay, so we've got both of those in a manual car as well. Is what we've got different here though is no clutch pedal. So my left foot is just on the left foot rest, basically. That's far to the left in the footwell there. I do not need to use my left foot when I'm driving an automatic car. Maybe if I'm driving a fast, you know, maybe a Ferrari and I've got launch control, then we're going to use both pedals at the same time. But for normal driving, not track driving, just normal driving, we're going to just use our right foot to do the brake and our right foot to do the gas pedal or the accelerator pedal. Okay, so straightforward enough there. That's going to be the first hurdle that you need to get over when you're driving your going from a manual car to an auto car. Don't use your left foot, just use your right foot. Keep your left foot. If you can chain your left foot to the side of the footwell so it can't move, then that will help. Maybe a bit extreme, but you get the idea. Okay then, so let's get the car moving then. So to get the car moving, I'm going to put my foot on the foot brake. The engine is started up already, so we're in park. I'm just going to release the parking brake. So I'm going to now keep my foot on the foot brake, obviously, because I've let the handbrake off. I'm going to put the car into drive, so we're in D, and now we're going to find that when I lift off the brake pedal, the car will just want to move ever so slightly forwards. So let's make sure we're safe to do this first, and we are. So if I lift off the brake pedal, even though we're on a very slight incline there, the car is moving forward. If I push the brake, we can come to a stop again. If I lift off the brake, it's still safe to do this. We can move. You get the idea. Okay, so now to move forwards with some purpose, well, we're just going to use a bit of gas in there, aren't we? So there is a car coming up behind me at the moment, so let's let them go first. Let's not cause a crash. So it's looking pretty safe. So off the brake, the car's moving, a little bit of gas, the car moves a little bit faster. Awesome. So a little bit more gas, you can hear the car changing gear, and maybe you can't hear it. We've got 8 gears in this car. They are quite close together and it will kind of change gear quite smoothly. It is a BMW after all. So we've got a junction coming up. So I've lifted off the gas pedal. The car's slowing down. Brilliant. That works in a manual car as well. No one behind me. And the car goes back down to that trickle speed where it's only just moving. Nice and straightforward. Let's pop an indicator on here. We're not on our driving test, but we're trying to obey the rules as best we can here. You get the point. So a bit of gas here, driving down the road, and I can just push the gas, which is going up through the gears quite nicely. There's no one behind me, so if I lift off the gas and start braking, the car will then just go down through the gears just as we slow down. I don't need to do anything with my left foot. I'm just using my right foot just to control the speed. Let's take another junction here. A little bit of brake for the junction, and then I'm going to just turn us in. A little bit of gas to drive us through. We're going up a little bit of an incline here, and I'm going to come to a stop. We have got a van behind us, so I'm just going to check the mirrors, signal for a left turn. We're going to come to a stop just a little further up here, so I'm just going to lift off the gas pedal. The car slows down. I'm going to gently brake. The car slows down even more, and like we would do it in any other car, we'll just keep our foot on the brake, bring the car down to a complete stop. No need for any clutch pedal there. We just let the car come to a complete stop. So we're still in drive. The car could move at any point if we lifted off the brake pedal. We've not changed gear, we've not done anything, we've not put the clutch down, we've just come to a complete dead stop. How straightforward is this? Push P for park, pop the handbrake on, and the car's nicely secure, and I've lifted off the brake pedal because of that. Okay, so you see how easy it is to get the car moving and how easy it is to bring the car to a stop. Let's look at how this works on a steep hill, and you might be surprised to see how easy it is to drive an automatic car on a steep hill. Okay, so we're parked up ready to do that hill start, but if you're getting value from this video, don't forget there's something called Buy Me a Coffee. The link's on the screen and in the description. Please do buy me a coffee, and I'd much appreciate that gesture of goodwill from you. Let's get on with doing a hill start. Okay, so we're all familiar with doing a hill start in a manual car. We have to balance the clutch on the biting point, we have to set a bit of gas in there, and we have to release the handbrake or the parking brake and get that balance right as we're driving away. Don't want to bring the clutch up all the way to the top too soon, do we? Otherwise we stall. Anyone that's been learning to drive recently will be very familiar with that stalling feeling on a hill start. So in an auto car, let's just have a quick look. So we're on quite a steep hill here. It probably doesn't come across as very steep on the camera. I know that to be the case when I've watched other people's videos doing hill starts. But let's give this demonstration of how to do a hill start with an auto. So first of all, I'm going to put the foot on the foot brake. We're in park obviously because we're parked. So I'm going to put the car into drive. I'm going to let the parking brake off. Okay, so when I let go of the brake pedal, well, let's give it a go. So let's have a look around, make sure we're safe to do this first, because we are on a live road. Lift off the brake pedal and the car is just sitting there. It's not rolling back, it's not rolling forward. I can sit here for as long as I like. If it was a less steep hill, as we saw in the first part of this video, where it was on a very slight incline, the car moved forward. Now, if I just check around again, make sure we're still clear, a little bit of gas. Here the engine just pick up and the car's moving forward there for me. There's no one coming up behind me, so I'm just steering out into the road ever so slightly there. If I lift off the gas pedal, so there's no gas, no brake, the car is just coming to a dead stop, but it's not rolling backwards. Again, it's still safe, a little bit of gas and it goes forward, and lift off the gas pedal, no brake at all, and the car's just coming to a dead stop. Okay, so that's a good point to note, that the car's not going to go the wrong way. The same when we reverse. If we're reversing up a hill, then the car won't roll forwards. It'll always go the way it's meant to go, or as in this case, nothing at all. So there is a car just coming up behind me, so I'm just going to stay, oh, they're turning off, good. Okay, so we're definitely safe. So to get the car moving with some purpose, I'm just going to push the gas, and a bit more gas and a bit more gas, and it's going to do the gear changes for me. We change gear slightly later when we're going uphill, don't we? Well, yeah, the car recognises that because the engine's under a bit of load. It's not going to change up into the next gear too soon. That's all managed by the automatic gearbox for us, which is quite nice and quite convenient. Okay then, so if you want to check out that video on driving using the sports mode of this car, then the video link is on the screen there for you. And subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in a future video.